Okay, so in the last video, we built up the bare bones of the box to contain the airride system. So we have a valve block and the compressor here. We done some fiberglass work. We transferred everything onto MDF, glued it, screwed it together, bonded it to the fiberglass, done some rough filler work, and now it's time to actually make it look like something decent. So let's see where we are here. So I ran a laser line between this point and this point, which is centered in the boot, ran it across, marked it on the box, and that allowed me to line up the valve block in the box, which is actually asymmetrical because they're off to one side. But when it's framed and there's a window here, it'll actually be centered, so you'll not actually know that, which is nice. So the first thing we're going to do is punch some holes in the bottom of this foot. We're going to drill holes on through the box, mount some hardware underneath, and this will actually fix this in place. We won't do the compressor for now, but you'll learn why later on, we'll see. So before we do that, we'll mark this and then we'll get drilling. Time to go to the bench. So I'm going to put 3 screws in this. They'll be held underneath captive nuts, as we'll see later. I have centered the 2 screws at the back around this post. As we can see in the last one, I made a slight mistake and offset this, so I will trim this down to match this side. So I'll have 2 here, 1 in the front. I have them marked up, time to drill them. I still haven't got a vise mounted to this bench after 2 years. So I was going to clamp it to this. I don't really have the room, so I think I will nip to the other workshop, use the vise there, drill the holes in this, and we'll come back to you and we'll pretend just watch this. So there we go. So the holes are drilled. The hardware is M5. I've opened these up to M6 just to get a little bit of leeway. I might go 7mm, depending on the tolerances we have here. But when I did initially drill this to 2mm, I dropped it back in. As you can see, I marked it on the boot here, or on the floor, and now we'll drill our holes through this. I have put a little bit of tape on this so I don't put any speed holes in the boot floor. So I'm going to drill this to this 2mm or whatever it is, maybe 3mm, take the box out, open it up, and then we'll insert the hardware from below over on the bench. So let's get this done. There we go. Bench time. Can't forget this. So these are the 3 holes that I drilled over in the car. We're going to open these up and we're going to use the same hardware that we use for the sub, mounting into the sub box, with these little things. I don't know if you can see them in that camera, this camera, with the spikes on them. So drill the hole, press these in, but because these are going to be under the box and gravity's obviously acting on them, if you're putting a screw in, you could knock them through. I don't have much faith in them holding in, so I'm going to run a little bit of like 2-part epoxy glue around them and let them set, and that'll do it. These will be held in place obviously, and there's no like lateral movement in them, so there's no adjustment. So the footprint of the valve block stand will probably open up those holes if we need to, and that'll give us a little bit of adjustment. So we'll open these up and get these glued in. The eagle-eyed amongst you will probably notice that that is not a wood bit. It was either a steel bit or a masonry bit, so I thought the steel bit would be the better option. MDF's quite nice for this, where it's quite easy to work with, although it is absolutely horrendous for you. But little blade, take it across, you can kind of just take the rough edges off, like pushing them back into the hole would be nice. But you can kind of saw your way across them, and opens that out nicely. You could also do it with another bigger drill bit, but this also works nice. You can kind of get your blade flat against it. There we go. Listen, we're not making cabinets here. This isn't furniture. So yes, of course my microphone wasn't on there, so forgive me for that. I hope you can hear that, but yes, we'll take these little star nuts now, insert these in. When we bolt up, it'll pull them into place. So I think you can hammer these in, which might actually be the better way to do it, and then we'll bond them, but we'll take a chance. Let's hammer them in. Why not? What could go wrong? So I hammer these most of the way, then we can mix our epoxy, beat them on down in, and we're good. There's a little bit of play in these, so we're just going to have to take a chance on where they are. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Hammer time. Big enough hammer. Everything set down solid it is. Okay. It's one. A little bit. So that was too much, yeah. We'll hook that one back out. We'll go a little bit easier with this hammer. It's not in me to go easy with a hammer, like, so you'll have to forgive me. Okay, mix our epoxy, push it into the gaps, hammer it down, let it squidge out, let it go off, and we're ready to test fit for the other side. So we'll take our epoxy and mix them up. We're probably not going to need a whole lot of this stuff, simply because it's going to squish out mostly. And to be honest, the little spikes on these nuts are probably going to hold okay, but it's kind of belt and braces and something I don't want to have to rip everything out to try and put a nut back in or a bolt back in, or just less hassle. For the sake of £5 for some glue and 5 or 10 minutes work, we can make this work pretty well. So this is pretty much 1-to-1 mix. Now that I have mixed it, I'm starting to doubt if I have actually mixed too little, but here we are. Let's see what happens. We can always mix more. I feel like Bob Ross with my positivity here, but need of positivity. I've just spent 2 weeks in Germany with work and I'm absolutely exhausted, so I need something here to keep me going. So let's make a complete mess likely here. Try and push some of that under. Yes, this is very professional. This stuff goes off in 5 minutes, so I'd like to think that we could get this pushed under in 5 minutes. As we've seen with the eyes upon the last day, stuff goes off pretty quickly in the heat, so I will work fast. Try and push as much in as we can, as much in as we can, as much in as we can. And it's hammer time. Here we go. We'll maybe clean this up. Good as new. Also, this stuff stinks. There's probably some sort of correlation with the stuff that absolutely stinks and being really good for you. So this can only be a health video as far as I'm concerned. We'll maybe run a screw through these to take some of the airride out. And it means it keeps our threads free. Absolute worst case, we'll run a tap through it, but why do that when you don't have to? A little bit of forward planning for once. Right, we will let that set up and remove these screws just before they set up so they're not glued in, which I'm sure a lot of you are thinking and probably want to see. And then we'll flip it over and mount our valve block. The epoxy is set, everything looks good. Now for a little test fit. Not sure if we'll need to open these holes up or not, but we'll soon find out. So we've set her back in roughly where it is. I've took some screws M5s that I had and temporarily shortened them. We'll put some nicer hardware in this at the end. So get these going. Might be a little hard to start because I've cut them down, but oh, that one's going in nicely. Let's see, get these snug down by hand. There's not a whole lot of room for a screwdriver under it. See if we can fit this in and tightened up. The answer is we cannot. Okay, so now these are hand tight. We'll take it back over to the car and see how it looks. After that, I think we'll pull it out and prime it. Right, so this seems to be looking good. We have it in. The hardware is quite crap, as you can see, but I'd say we'll change that. But once the compressor's here and you're looking down on this, I think when this is black and this is all trimmed and it's darker again, I think you're going to lose everything, which would be nice. So the next move we'll do is we'll pull this out, prime where there's filler and fiberglass, and that'll help the glue stick to it for trimming it. And I think I'll paint the outside of it black again, so if we take anything out like this, like we did with the sub box, if we're working on it or to show or anything, at least it looks a little bit tighter than just raw MDF. So I'll get this painted, primed, painted, and we'll come back for some trimming again. So a couple of coats of satin black on the outside, and I've sealed up primer and black anywhere there was filler and fiberglass because I didn't want the glue soaking into it. I had a little bit of look at how I'm going to trim this, and I'm not really sure, but the best I can come up with is to trim the bottom and the two little like weird humps, and then cut it away tight around the edges, and then I'll trim the outside edges probably in either one or two pieces with that. I have this spread up, contact adhesive. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but we're going to give it a go. So I will be using the same tools as before, which was the trim removal tools to work it into the edges. This is going to be quite difficult because I need to get it down in here and kind of reposition it a few times. And it's obviously sticky because glue is sticky. Shock horror. So thankfully I think this stuff will actually come off the carpet if it gets on the nice surface. I think you can just let it dry and roll it off, but let's see how we get on. You might hear me angry in a second. Who knows? Well, we're stuck to the bottom already. Wasn't sure that we wanted to be, but that's where we are. Okay, so I'm in that corner, that's fine. I'm just about, but just is still in, so I can trim it to that anyway. That corner is going to be fine. These two corners are where I'm going to need more material to kind of come up around what I'm trying to do. So I think by a chance I've actually worked this nicely. I just need to make sure there's no gaps or bubbles trapped in this, which there is not. This corner is literally millimeter perfect. You can't see it on the camera. So that was nice. I've worked that nicely. That was always the plan. Trim tools, get that worked down in there. So once I have it around the edges and everything down where I want it to be, I'll run the knife around, and then that'll give me a nice sharp edge to trim the next piece too. Hopefully we don't have to be lifting this again. I am certainly no trimmer, I will say that, but some of this is thinking it through and some of this is trial and error, so you just kind of have to go with it at times. It's a bit like metal shaping. You kind of want to think what way the material is going to move, where it's going to pucker and things like that. So sometimes you can predict it, sometimes you can't. We'll say this glue is a lot better than the last one, which is nice, although it isn't 4 years out of date. This is tricky getting into this corner, and then once it gets into the corner it kind of pulls itself flat again, which is nice. I think a lot of this is having decent carpet, like a 4-way stretch carpet, which this is, thankfully. It certainly helps. I'm trying to think where it's going to be seen and not seen, but also I don't like doing that because you don't always know. Plus, if someone goes looking, which I always do at other people's things, you start to see things, you're like, oh, that's where they've done that, or that's where a flaw was, or not that there's an issue. You'll always, nothing's perfect, but if you strive for perfection, you never get it, but you get close to it. That's nice. Always aim higher than your standards. Okay, so if you can see, this looks pretty rough around the outside edges, but the base is totally stuck down. It's tight into the corners. It's up around these sections here, which are kind of these weird humps. There's a black eyed peas coat in there somewhere. And once it sets up, I'll run the knife around it, trim it, and we'll do the next side. So let's see how this goes. This is a lot more difficult than the sub box. Part of me kind of wishes I could have trimmed that all in one piece, but I don't think that would be possible with these puckers the way it's all running. Nah, it wouldn't be. So there's no point in worrying about it. That's well down in there. So it's been 2.5 weeks since 3 seconds ago in this video. It cut out. I was going to America the next day. That's why I haven't been here. And since then I've got the rest of the box trimmed. It's actually come out pretty good, all things considered. These like weird corners where the spare wheel well is. There's a little bit of pucker in here, which I think if I trim it again, it'll drop the two edges down in. This forward bit's a lot better. I got a little bit of glue in the carpet in here, but I mean, to be honest, for overall, for what you're going to see of this, I'm very happy. So we'll set this to one side for now. I will show you at the end how this comes out with dropped into the boot with the valve block and stuff, but we have a little bit of work to do before that. So our compressor, this needs a little bit of tidying. The first thing we need to do is actually install the air filter. So this filter obviously filters the air that comes into the compressor and ultimately ends up in your tank. So don't stick the pick in your hand. Yeah, it's always a good start. So a little foam filter in here. It's not very much, but it stops dirt and debris, I suppose, getting in. So snap this back together, probably bleed all over it. There we go. And it's threaded. So just pop that end tank out. And don't go mad because it is plastic threads. So, and the other bit we want to do is the power leads for the compressor. So as you can see, they're very loosey-goosey. You're probably only going to see the first 4 to 6 inches of these, depending on where our placement is. No, blood. So I'll wrap the first 4 or 6 inches nicely, and then after that I'll make the windings longer, and then it leaves a little bit more flexibility. So I've got the Tesla tape, which if you ever worked around any OEM harnesses and cars, you know, there's like a cloth tape on it. This is it, or something similar to this, but it's great to work with. So what I will do is trim that rough end off. So I can prop this up in something without scratching the compressor. Take this nice and tight to the end, and what I will do is give this an overlap on itself just to make sure it's tight on. Put them side by side, and I'm aiming for about 50-50 or 50% overlap on this. As I say, you won't really see it, but if you go looking for it, at least it's nice and neat and tidy looking. And just keeping a little bit of tension on the cables. I think that's about enough there, to be honest, for where this is going to be situated. And after this, open our winding up a little bit more. Actually, probably would have been neater to give it a full coverage, but we might have to cut and shorten or lengthen these cables. So for now, that'll do it. So something like that can make things a little bit neater, tidier, and a little bit of attention to detail. And I think that's just ready to set this in, see how it's going to look. So I have loosely bolted the manifold back in. That looks to be squarish. That'll sit like that. We'll set our compressor in roughly. This will change going by the angle of the hard lines that we use, but it looks something like that. And let's see what we have. So like I say, valve block is in loosely, it'll be adjusted. Compressor's just sitting here, it'll be roughly this angle, but that'll depend on the hard lines itself. And as you can see when you stand back, you don't see a lot of this, and it gives you an idea of what we're trying to achieve here. Hard lines themselves then will come out like this, this, and this through the sides of the box. They're going to sit level and skim over the top of the compressor. The other thing as well is the lines then we wrapped up will pass through this side of the box, so you won't actually see them, just see this little black piece here. By the time the cover is on this, you're probably not going to see them at all, and then the actual braided line will run straight through the box as well. So it's nice to see a little bit of progress after what's been a few weeks off. Yeah, it's been a few good weeks off. It's nice to be back at it. We're making a bit of progress. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would with work and holidays and things like that, but we'll get there eventually. So until the next one, see you then folks. Bye.